All right, we automated an entire sales team. Throughout this video, you're gonna see all the processes, all the workflows, all the different things that we did to automate a sales team so that you can take those processes and apply that on your own, or you can partner up with us so that we can implement those within your business using AI and using automation. So the first thing is what is the sales reality gap? And this happened from all the conversation that we had from different sales-led businesses, so businesses that have a sales team or they have different SDRs within a team. And we found out that only 28 to 39% of the SDR time is actually spent on direct selling activities. That actually means being on the phone, talking to prospects, selling their product. The rest of the time is actually spending admin work. So it could be updating CRMs, it could be preparing for calls, it could be following up, it could be internal meetings. But at the end of the day, only like 2.5 hours are spent on actual selling. If you want to have a cost breakdown related to this, if we say that full-time SDR could cost a US company 60K per year and they are only spending 28% of the time selling, it means that you are paying 42K per year for just admin work that can be automated. And the thing is, it gets stronger the more people you add to the team. So if you have 10 people, it could be 432,000 on task that can actually be automated. And another component here is that more admin work leads to burnout because salespeople actually don't want to do admin work. Burned out sales reps make more mistakes. More mistakes create more admin work because they input data in the wrong way. They don't input data, and then more admin work actually means spending less time on the actual selling. This is a vicious cycle that repeats itself, and this can only be solved with systems and by making sure that the sales people actually focus on selling and don't focus on admin work. In order to understand how this works and how the framework works when integrated this kind of solution, you have to think about this in three main pillars. At the bottom, we have the data management part. So the data management part is related to the part where we collect all the data. Every different sales interaction that we do with prospects, whether those be calls, email sent, email open, deals closed, are interactions that generate some data. This data is actually very useful, but one of the problems that companies have is that they either have outdated data, they have wrong data, or they have incomplete data. Capturing the data is the first component to actually building an automation flows and automating a team. After that comes the intelligence part. The intelligence means actually using that kind of data to generate insights within their business. The problems that we saw here is that people see the numbers, see that they have a specific number related to the deals closed or sales velocity. They don't know how to identify the patterns, or maybe they have insights, but they cannot act fast or spot problems later. After the data, we have the intelligence. And then finally, the last point here is the automation. You only think about automating when you solve these first two layers of the pipe. One thing that I tell everyone is you can think about that in the following way. Data management tells you what happened, intelligence shows you what matters, and then automations make it happen without you. So in this way, you can actually automate the intelligence, have the information, and then you can just read the information and track your own ideas based on that. Now, let me show you what are the different use cases. So this is the main, and this is the most important things on what we can actually automate in a sales process. I organize things here within a funnel. All the things that I added over here are everything but the sales activities, because right now sales activities cannot be automated, and there's still a lot of value in the interaction in person when it comes to actually selling a product, especially if we are talking about a B2B high ticket product. From left to right, we are following the hardware flow of the sales process. We're starting with prospecting, so everything related to doing ICP categorization to target the right company, classify the right company, routing the right deals to the right people within the team. Then we have pre-sales. In pre-sales, we have everything that is related to creating prep documents prior to a call so that you have access to the information of the people that you are talking with, and you don't need to scramble data 15 minutes before a call. Meeting scheduling, so you can avoid back and forth with calendar coordination. Within the sales part over here, we have a part related to call analysis systems. So you can take the conversation that you had, turn those into insights, and then like post meeting reviews, so that you can send meeting reviews where you press a single button and then all the information is sent to CRM and sent across the different parts of the organization. And finally, the last part that I added here is the sales management component. If you have a team, it's very helpful to automate data entry, so automate everything that is related to CRM, so that the minimum amount of manual work for SDR. Then we have bulk analysis system. So this is a system of how we actually apply call analysis in bulk across the whole organization. So you can spot patterns by looking at a database and looking at the information. And finally, we have the dashboarding component where you can have a look at real-time visibility into the different performance. Those are different pain points of the sales process. And now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on each of the different ones into detail. Let's start with prospecting part. Within prospecting, we added two different things. First off is the Smart Lead Builder. A problem that we notice a lot is that a lot of teams spend a lot of time building lists. So what we thought about this is we created a system that goes into Slack, and within Slack, you can either paste a list that you created within Sales Navigator or within Apollo.io, or you can ask in a natural language, find me SaaS company in euros using HubSpot, and the AI will generate a link within those tools directly. This way, you can actually ask for a thing directly within Slack. You have a URL, and then once you have the URL, you do a human verification to make sure that is okay. And then if that's okay, you go on and you scrape the information that you have from that specific URL, and you add this information to an email sequencer. We did this for a couple of lead generation agencies also. And so the idea here is that you speed up list building 10x, because a lot of the time spent is actually on thinking about how the list can be built and how the information can be found and can be enriched and can be verified. And so in this way, we explain how everything is done just by sending some messages directly within Slack. The second activity that we can automate here is intent-based outreach. So what happens here is that if you have a business where you can look at a job post and infer a potential need of your system based on the job post, this system is actually for you. Let me give you an explanation. Let's say you are selling sales automation solution or something along those lines, or you are selling how to automate a sales team kind of thing. If I look at a job post of a head of sales operation, what I can infer from that is that that company is growing, and one of the problems that they are having is that they want better system when it comes to sales. So in that way, what I can do is I can take the job post, I can see what is information that they mention within the job post, use that as data, craft a message on that, and reach out to those companies directly in an automated way. Any kind of business that can use job post as information can create those kind of system in an automatic way. I mean, completely automatic, because like the job post gets scraped every single day. And in this way, you can actually reach out to people directly using this intent-based approach. Next, we have ICP qualification system. Over here, the idea is that you will have a lot of people within your funnel, and it's very, very useful to know a way to qualify those in a fast way without having someone have to look at their profile, look at their LinkedIn, look at all the information, and have an understanding of whether they are qualified or not. We have a couple of different systems over here. First off is a content-based ICP qualification. This system is something that we use internally, and then we used on, like we implemented on different businesses. The idea behind this is that if you're doing content, specifically here is if you're doing content on LinkedIn, you can get all the information about the people that engage with your content. So you can get information about whether someone likes your post, comments on your post, visit your profiles, and things like that, and use that kind of information to qualify those persons. So you start off with getting those information about like the people that are engaging with you, and then if they engage with you, you can perform an in-depth research on that specific person, and then run all the information through an ICP qualification system. What we do over here within this example is that we have a system where we do a person research analysis. So we check their profile, we find their email, we look at their own website using a GPT vision. So we do a screenshot of the website and look at that. And with all those kind of information, we can craft a better analysis of whether they could be a specific fit for our services or not. If they are a fit, we can notify the team directly. And another thing that we can add on top of this is that we can add an ICP tier. So if you have different tiers of different people that could be interested in your services, you have like tier 1, which is like the people that you want to talk with, tier 2, middle tier, and then like low tier where you give that to a specific SDR. This way you can also divide everything into tiers. And so you know which things to prioritize, how to route things depending on that, and so on. That is that. Another component of that is a lead magnet intelligence system. The idea behind this is that you can use a lead magnet as a proxy for a specific need within a company. So let's say that you have this specific file. I'm using this as a reference all the time, but how we automated an entire sales team as a lead magnet. This means that your company might need help in automating different parts of the sales team. If you give the specific information, such as your work email, we can use those email to find the information within your business. So we can look at your LinkedIn profile, we can look at your URL, and then we can do the ICP categorization on you and understand whether you are qualified or not. The idea behind this is never waste information. When you're doing lead magnets, when you're doing form intelligence system, this is another example, you ask people for specific information. If you have those information, you can use those information directly within your qualification system or qualification agents to categorize that specific lead and to understand whether that lead is either qualified or not. The idea here is using the prospect known actions to craft a perfectly timed and relevant outreach to them. Now let's go to the pre-sales and announcement part. Here we have a meeting prep system. So the idea behind this system is that every day you have a list of all the meetings that you have. You check those people, you check the website of those people, and then you do a reverse lookup on those people. What it means is you take the email that you have of those people and you find the LinkedIn profile directly from the email. The idea behind that is from the LinkedIn profile, you can get a better understanding of a specific person. And then from those information, you can create a research brief. So you can create a personal research brief, like the one that we have over here, where we have like first name, last name, company, years in role, previous companies, university attendees. But you could also create a better brief that is focused on, for example, questions that you want to ask based on the industry that they are in, or you can even use your own sales playbook to use the question that you have and enhance those based on their specific situation and based on the specific information that you either find online or that you have about them within your own CRM and within your own business. Next, we have a meeting scheduling system. The idea here is instead of having a back and forth of finding the time between you, the team, and other people, you can have a single system where you press click of a button and you find the availability within the whole team, and then you send over a message directly in a formatted way. The reason to use this instead of actually using calendar link is that you can adopt this to be available for both you and different other members of the team directly within the CRM or directly within Gmail, for example. And in this way, you don't waste time communicating with your team members within Slack and understanding whether they are available or not at a specific time. Then over here, we have the meeting intelligence part. So this is the system that actually takes the information from a call and then transform those information into valuable insights. What you can do is you can take the recording, either Zoom recording, or if you have a specific assistant within the call, like Fireflies, like Phantom, those kind of assistant, you can take the transcript of those and then put those transcript directly into a summarizer. And then based on the summarizer, you can do different kinds of analysis. Over here, there are a couple of examples of different analysis that you can do. So you can either analyze the conversation using proven sales framework. So in this way, you can use that as coaching opportunities. You can extract the key questions. That way, each call also becomes part of market research. So you can have the information about the market prior. You can identify and categorize the different objections that you receive. Again, this helps both as a sales coaching opportunity. So you understand which are the objections that people find the most, how they are dealing with those objections, as well as what are the most common objections that people have around your product. And then finally, you can possibly map the whole conversation flow. Over here, I added an example. This is an example of a sales code summary we have within a business. So here we added different things, and keep in mind that the information that you have over here can be tuned based on your specific needs. So here we have basic call information, key discussion points, customer pain points, and customer requirements. This is related to a specific business, but over here you can add additional components if you really wanted to. Other things that you can add and you can possibly have could be coaching opportunities. So identify the talk time ratio, identify different question patterns, identify what could be areas of improvements. This can be done directly within a bot where the conversation is finished, the conversation is summarized, and then the areas of improvement are given to the sales rep, and the sales manager can review those kind of opportunities. Or this can be done with an AI assistant in Slack, where you can ask a specific question on the call, and then you can have this kind of information back. The next point that I haven't mentioned before is CRM and data management. So over here, the idea behind all the system that I showed you is that each system feeds into the CRM. So each interaction, such as like the lead list, the initial outreach, the meeting schedule, the sales call, everything feeds into the CRM so that you can use this information and you can act on this information. The problem is that this information is divided into different parts. And so what we need to do at the beginning of the engagement is we need to map out the different areas where the information is stored and then put all this information together in a single place where we can access this information, the AI can access this information, and then the sales manager can also access this information. Finally, there's this question over here. What does it look like at scale? So here what I have is a bulk analysis system. Imagine the idea of having a sales call and having the call summary directly summarized for you. Think about that done for every single call within your business, for every single rep in a database that you can easily access, where you can check all the different questions, you can check the different customer pain points, and you can check the different objections. When you have this kind of system in front of you, it's way better to look at the specific patterns from specific sales reps, for example, and then based on that, you can ask the AI to provide some coaching opportunities or to identify patterns based on that. So in this way, having all the data in a single place allows you to target different conversation, understand the coaching opportunities, understand what could be some performance patterns. And in this way, you can also look at your top sales reps and understand what they do differently compared to the other people. The last component that I added over here is dashboarding. Here I added just an example of like call analysis, where you can do call analysis per month, call analysis divided by channel. But here you can add a lot of information or a lot of additional information, such as sales velocity trends, such as close rate by channel, team performance metrics, and all this information can be watched directly within a single interface. This is it. Hope this was useful. Hope you get some understanding of the different parts where AI and automation can be used across the whole sales process. If you need help integrating that, please reach out and I'll be happy to help you with that. Bye.